PRVC is not dual control mode. Dual control mode also does not mean controlling the volume and the pressure at the same time. In fact, that's impossible. In order to control the volume and the pressure at the same time, you would have to be able to control the entire equation of motion, which we cannot do. What dual control actually means is it's any mode where the mechanical ventilator is able to switch between two different control schemes within one breath. For example, the ventilator starting out in volume control and based on some kind of parameter, changing to pressure control as needed. An example of that would be on the servo ventilators when you do volume control square waveform with the flow adaptation turned on. Basically, it starts out in regular, constant flow, volume control, regular, fixed volume, fixed flow. But basically, if the ventilator detects patient effort, and I believe the way it does that is based on a negative deflection on the pressure waveform of, I think, -3 centimeters of water, I believe. Basically, the ventilator will allow the patient to draw in more flow. And the second the flow is no longer fixed, the second the ventilator is no longer controlling the flow, we are not in volume control anymore. We are now in a form of pressure control. And in fact, it is essentially kind of like a spontaneous pressure support kind of breath at that point, because I believe the ventilator also is no longer time cycling, it is now flow cycling. So basically, it's going to start out with a normal volume control breath. If the patient decides they want to pull in more flow, the ventilator is going to say, okay, go ahead and pull in more flow, and the breath is going to end whenever you're done inhaling. So that is a clear example where it is able to switch from volume to pressure within a single breath. The reason why people think that PRVC is some kind of dual control mode is because people say, well, it's trying to do volume control using pressure controlled breaths. And I guess conceptually that makes sense, right? Because it's attempting to do the same thing as volume control. It's attempting to give you that stable minute ventilation, that stable CO2 clearance. But here's the thing, PRVC is adaptive pressure control with a volume target. Keyword is target, right? Not volume control. The vent is just guessing with inspiratory pressure. It can over or undershoot that. And that is not the same thing as volume control. You do not have fixed flow. You do not have fixed volumes. But I understand how people get it confused.